I will continue in English because I think through my excitement I totally forgot that I've prepared everything in English, so we will switch back. I hope you're all eating something nice and drink something nice as well. Afterwards we still have time to chat and meet each other a little bit. But for now I want to give the word to Sander. Sander is my colleague over at B Roger and he will talk about Laravel package development. Once again, there's room for questions during the talk, but afterwards there will also be room during the Q&A. So feel free to either keep your questions to the last part or ask them immediately if it's very necessary. And give a warm applause to Sander.
Oh, one sec. Yeah. So, I was looking at the beaver. Good afternoon. Good evening. My name is Sander. I've been developer at Beep at the moment. I've been using Laravel since 2016. I've been backend developer at Beep Roger right now since 2020. I'm going to be talking today about Laravel package development. But first, as some people have known, I see some laughing. I have to pay the cat tax. This is my cat Skittles. I'm going to talk a bit about the introductions on how to start Laravel development or package development, how the autonomy of a Laravel package is working, how to deal with configuration files, database migrations. I'm going to show you how to set up your environment for package development, and of course we're going to put it into action. So the autonomy of a Laravel package. There are a few basic things. One of the things is your composer.json. Your composer.json contains everything you want the world to know about your Laravel package. Besides that, you'll need a service provider. The service provider is your entry point for your package so that Laravel knows what your package does, what it offers, what it exposes towards the Laravel installation it's currently installed in. So that contains your configuration files, your database files, views if you have them, blade components, translations, artisan commands, some routing. You can configure your service container bindings with them, and obviously the rest of your code. So first things first, composer.json. Basically, the only thing composer.json needs is the name, which is usually your GitHub username and your package name. You can give it a description. You can give your runtime dependencies. You can give your development dependencies, and obviously any contact information you have for who is maintaining that package. Besides that, you obviously need to define your autoloading sequence. So what's the entry, where's your namespace pointing towards? For Laravel, you need to define the extra key where you can say to Laravel, look, this is my package service provider. And obviously you can define some configuration. You can say if you want to sort the package when you install a new package, your minimum stability, and if you prefer stable. For your runtime dependencies, you'll need to use the Illuminate packages. Illuminate packages is the thing that makes everything in Laravel work. So it follows the Laravel versioning. So for example, Illuminate database, that will provide you with your database connection, Eloquent, MySQL, Postgres, SQLite, configuration and service providers, everything related to that. There's also Illuminate View, which supplies Blade. And there's a bunch of other components, Illuminate components, and you can find them on the GitHub page. Where everything is laid out. So for example, cache you can get there, You can always get the queuing system, the email service, everything related to that, you can find that there. So, if you want to define a runtime dependency, if you want to offer you want your package to be able to be installed on multiple Laravel versions, you'll need to define them in, for example, in this case, Laravel 7.0, Laravel 8.0, and Laravel 9.0. And that way you can keep it installable for all Laravel versions. Next to that, you have your service provider. So a service provider has two functions, a boot function, a register function. In your boot configuration or your boot function, you can, for example, load your migrations. You can say to Laravel, look, once this package is installed, I offer these migrations to the consumer of the package. There's always, you can also define your configuration, where you basically say, okay, Laravel, once I'm installed, or once I'm being run, this is my configuration file which I'm trying to load or offer. You can say your config path, and you'll obviously need to say, I'm offering this to the configuration helper. My clicker obviously refuses to work. Okay, for Lumen, there's one catch for Lumen. If you want to offer that, Lumen doesn't have the configuration path helper. So if you want to offer your package to Lumen, you'll need to instruct the consumer to manually copy over the configuration file. Once your configuration files have been published, in the register function, you can say to Laravel, look, once this file has been installed, I want to merge this with what is defined in the Laravel installation itself. So Laravel will underwater merge those two, and then you can, in your package, use the configuration helper to call certain properties and set certain options. Seriously doesn't want to work. Besides that, you can also load your routes. You can load your migrations. You can also load JSON translations if you have them. You can load your components. You can load your views. And that's it, what you can do. For setting up your environment for package development, what you'll need is obviously a working Laravel environment where you can test out your code, you can test out your project. You'll need a directory for where you want to, where the code is stored for your package. So you can just run Composer in it. I don't know if anybody, can you read this? Cool. So you give up your name, you can give a description, an author, you can define the license for your package if you decide to, your auto-loading, the author, and eventually it will say, do you want to do this? And you'll say yes, and then you're done. And after that, you'll need some Composer magic. And what I mean by that is, in the composer.json of your project, you'll need to define the path as a repository with the path pointing towards the code of your Laravel package. So that once you run composer require in your package, it will try and fetch that from that directory. Like I already mentioned, once that's been done, Composer will install and will symlink it, as you can see. So basically, as long as you don't touch your composer.json, you can continue working without running composer update or composer dump autoload. It will automatically handle that for you. For testing, we have Orchestra Test Bench. Test Bench is a tool which helps you test out your package against certain Laravel versions. So testbench will help you set up any database environments if you have it, make any connections towards your database. It can also help you set up caching. It kind of fakes being installed in a Laravel application, and in that way you can test out, is your package does it still run against, for example, Laravel 7, Laravel 8, if you support that. Any questions so far? Cool. Then one warning. I'm a madman and I use a white IDE team. So be warned. That's not even the editor. So right now we have our $1 million Laravel project. Perfect, as you can see. So what I've currently set up is I've added a package, random cat, with the intention of showing a random cat when you want it to. As you can see, oh.
Can you make the text bigger, please?
Yeah, one sec. So as you can see, I've set up my repository in my local development directory. And right now, the only thing I've done so far is I've made a service provider. Service provider is empty, has a register function which calls nothing except for itself. So, what we're first going to do is we're going to make some migrations. And personally, I like to use, like to adhere to the standards set out by Laravel. So my migrations goes into my migration directory. For the moment, I have defined Luminate database support. I have the supporting libraries for Laravel. I have some routing and I have a view, and that's the only thing currently my Laravel library will export. So we're going to make a migration. So because we're doing Laravel development, package development, we'll need to do everything by hand. We cannot use PHP artisan, create migration, and just go with it. So we need to manually define public function up, and we'll need to define a down method. So what we'll do is we'll say schema, create a table, we'll throw in static function blueprint table. We'll clean everything up and we'll say table will need an ID, we'll need some timestamps, and what we want is a file name. For the down method, we'll do schema drop So in our boot function, we'll say this load migrations from, and we'll say the current directory. We'll go one directory back, we'll say database, migrations, and then we can switch back to our a different project. we can just, I want my terminal. Thank you. And now we'll say migrate status. Oops. 1 sec. I apparently didn't set up my database. Well, valet add database. Cool. Let me quickly double check. Okay, let's see. Okay, so now we can run composer.autoload. Just to make sure everything's loaded in. PHP artisan migrate. Quickly check, because for some reason okay. Let's see if everything. Oh, it doesn't. Quick. It should be, yeah, it should be here. That works, that's defined. Luckily, where are you? Obviously, I didn't pray to the demo gods, as you can see. Where? I want to open this. Let me have a quick look. Are you empty? No. Yeah, that's my cedars. That should be correct. Source. That's defined. Oh, wait. Probably my namespacing. There. Yeah, now I remember. Wrong file name.
It's no migration name.
Sorry?
It's no migration name.
No, it's not the migration name. So, there it is. Oh.
Wat een achtbaan.
Ah. Namespace, but look. Why? Because file name is already in use. What?
You renamed it, doesn't autoload.
Oh, gee. Check, 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 double check. And now, still no. No. Huh? Why? Why? Oh man. Oh. Why? Oh, wait. Why? Oh man.
I think there's already a class somewhere with the same name.
Yeah, but I don't know.
If you just search the whole project on the same class name, there should be two, right?
Or just rename this one.
Yeah, or just rename it.
Already in use.
What if you just use anonymous migrations?
Yeah, you could do that. Oh. But I currently run PHP 8.0. Oh. And to be honest, I haven't tested it with anonymous migrations yet. Let's see, artisan migrate. What? How?
Well, it's a sibling. It's a sibling.
What do you mean, symlink?
I think that there's a sibling, right? Between the proposed package and
Yeah.
that's the only way to find two classes, right? Same error. I can do the reason.
Yeah, so it's I'm current. Oh, one sec. Before I'm currently in my project. Oh, PHP artisan migrate fresh. Why?
Anonymous class. Yeah, anonymous class the only way.
Yeah.
It's two classes.
Oh.
What?
What?
Don't forget to semicolon at the end.
Yeah.
Thank you. Hey! So, tab number 2. We currently have an empty database, which is all fun, but that's not very useful to us.
We don't need the migration right.
All this effort for no migration. So what we're going to do, we're going to make cat picture seeder. I hear some laughing.
Make it seeder.
Sharp, thank you. And we'll obviously need some models with that. So, extends model, thank you. I think we're all pretty familiar with this. We have a file name. Cool. Sorry?
I hear someone say guarded.
And we'll obviously need some images. So I'm going to copy those over resource images. Cool. So we'll have our images, public function run. As you'll see, we'll currently also have autocomplete, so we can say file name. This is one.jpg. We have 3 of them, 2 and number 3. So once we've had that, we'll need to say publishes will publish an array of our current directory and we need to give it a group name, and in this case we'll say images. We want to publish that. So right now what I've done is I've added I'm going to publish the images. And we need to give it a directory, and for that I'm going to quickly have a peek. Thank you. So what we're going to do, we have the current images. We're going to put that in our storage directory. App, public, cat, obviously. So if we now go back to our project and we say artisan storage link first. Obviously we need to create that. PHP artisan vendor publish. It will say we have our provider. It'll ask what we want to publish. And you can also see we have tagged our images. So we publish them. So if we currently go, here we have 3 images, and if we go to storage, JPEG, hey! We've currently published our images, which is all fine, but we eventually want to use them as well. So what I'm going to do is we're going to add some routing. Well, for the moment, we'll just put it in our web routes. And we'll just throw in a closure at the moment. So we'll say we want, bless you. We want a picture in a random order. We say first. And for the moment, just to make sure everything works, we'll dump it. So right now we need to say load routes from current directory, routes, and we'll use the web.php. So if we go back to the project and we go to the route.
Komma er weghalen.
Sorry, what?
Er staat nog een punt komma in je functie die je net schreef. Daar.
Scherp, dank je. So if we currently go to the routes list, we'll see we have published our own route. So if we currently go to the random cat, we'll get an error because we currently don't have anything in our database. So what we're going to do, we have our seeder. And we need to load that in our service provider. So what we'll say, we'll define the namespace and we say database seeders is mapped to the current database seeders directory. For that we need to set a namespace. PHP Storm apparently doesn't want that doing that automatically, so database/seeders. Now we can use in our own database seeder in the project, we can say this, run cat picture seeder. So, did it import it? Yeah, cool. So now we can say PHP artisan, db seed. Okay.
It's a big cat.
This is a pretty big cat, yeah. I'm going to JSON. Did I composer.json? That's correct. My namespacing. Oh, wait.
Er staat wel een komma aan het eind hoor.
Why? That works. That's defined.
Moet je je autoloading nog dempen?
It shouldn't. But let's have a try. Nope. Oh, yeah. Like I already mentioned, if you change something in your composer.json in your project, you need to run composer update. So as you can see right now, it's quote unquote upgrading my package. So now quickly Source models. There's my model. That shouldn't matter. Composite.eu just to be sure. Unfortunately. It should. Oh, wait. I was calling my own function recursively. Yeah, now I'm getting a different error because of a syntax error. Hey! So, as you can see now, we have a populated database. So, if I call the route now, we'll see we're getting some information. 1.jpg, 3.jpg, again 3.jpg. You'll get the point. Last thing before I want to wrap up, I want to add a view. So what we'll do is this load views from. We can give it again a path. Resources views. And we need to give it a namespace. So now we can just make our regular blade views. We'll give it file name, and I don't think there's going to be a lot of styling here, but we'll give it a width of 500 pixels, give it a height of 500 pixels. So thank you. Actually it's a self-closing tag. A route, and now we can just return our view, which is we have to use the namespacing we're defining. Oh. So dot show, and we'll throw in our picture, and now
Ja, je hebt een dubbele punt nodig in plaats van één. Ah nee, wel twee.
yeah.
You call it like that. This is you.
Yeah, and it's picture in blade.
Oh. Almost.
File name is ja.
Nee,
Slash.
Ah.
Add the prefix of the
storage.
Oh. No. Hey.
lovely cat.
Thank you. Yeah, so that's basically with a little bit of trouble. Yeah, the daily hustle. How we made a basic Laravel package. For additional resources, there's laravelpackage.com, which goes in great depth on how to tackle certain issues, how to deal with certain stuff, what are any common best practices. A good example which I always use when I create packages at work is I use Laravel Sanctum as a sort of guideline / blueprint. Spatie Laravel permissions with an asterisk is also a pretty good package just to get some inspiration from how to deal with certain stuff, how to define certain stuff. The reason why I say asterisk is Spatie since Laravel permissions release number 5, they're using the skeleton package, which they also made, which automates a lot of this hassle which I've done. So if you want to learn more about how it's quote unquote originally done, I suggest look at version 4 of the Laravel permission package. That's it. Any questions? Yeah.
There are no questions? Thank you so much.
My presentation will be up on presentations.sandervankasteel.nl. I'll also link in all the resources I've mentioned. And I'll link in an example on how to do CI pipelines with GitHub, on how to test multiple Laravel versions against multiple PHP packages or PHP versions. Sorry. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, and besides the presentation will be up there, as you've noticed, we've been also filming this whole night, so you will see it on our YouTube channel. And before we head off and close this evening, I want to thank again Bobby and Sander for their talks and opening the Laravel meetups again live, and I'm very excited for that. But besides that, I would also very like to thank our sponsors, because without them we wouldn't have all the pizza and all the food and all the drinks. So those sponsors that have been very helpful are Linkhost, AI Solutions, and of course BeProger. So Linkhost is a managed hosting and helps digital agencies and software as a service companies to with their managed hosting. So if you don't have the knowledge yourself, or if you want to just outsource that, they will be your partner for that. AI Solutions, on the other hand, helps with organizations claim subsidies, and this can be in the broadest sense of the word. So they really look at you as a company and like what your uniqueness, and work from that to find good solutions and good subsidies. And then BeProger, we are a software developing company, and well, we've been organizing these meetups for the last couple of years, and what I want to stress that we are always looking for other speakers for the meetup, so if you are very excited to tell something yourself, then always reach out to me. And we are also always looking for people to join our team, so also feel free to get in touch with me or someone else. And then on a very last note, with the help of our sponsors, we were also able to make goodie bags for this event. So before you leave, please leave through that door, and then my colleagues Ron and Larissa will help you and give you a goodie bag that you can definitely take with you today. And we are also already planning the next meetup, which will be on the 28th of June, and it's already live. You should be able to sign up tonight, so feel free to check it out again, and we really hope to see you next time as well. So thank you.